The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and secret proceedings. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed.
So, it's
Hi.
Friday.
It's Friday. Just like jumped in. Usually I'm used to your pretty face coming on and saying,
It's
hey, it's
kind of-
Friday.
Well, but it's kind of a serious Friday. So today is National Dog Day.
Every dog has its day.
Every dog has its day. There's some serious shit going down, but it's also, so Netflix has been playing this 13 movie, which that's great. But these are the 13 I want us to remember today. These are the 13 Marines that were killed when Biden so recklessly pulled out of Afghanistan. These are the Marines that died a year ago today. And so everyone should wear red for everyone deployed every Friday. And these are the 13 that I want everyone to raise a glass to today and remember today. Cheers.
Pour some out.
So, we were able to have our donation amount. It was calculated $8,888.90.
It was not, was it?
It
Are you serious?
serious.
Take those 2 pennies and throw them out. Make it 88 cents.
No. Well, no. It was kind of cool because that's
crazy.
My dad was 90 years old.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's the reason then. That's insane. Really? It turned out to that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Can't make it up.
Yeah.
That's really,
the amount.
that's crazy.
Yeah. So Erica, I messaged her today. It was really cool. They're driving back and forth. So they are in the middle of changing office spaces. They're moving to a larger office space to be able to meet with more veterans on a regular basis. They're having a larger conference space. And it's really cool. So she said they're moving Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. She's like, oh my gosh. She's like, I need to be having a better communication with you. But she's like, let's get together next week. She goes, I can't receive the check right now, but I want to receive this. She's like, I need to do a better job. I was like, no, it's okay. And then this is also really cool. So her husband, Bo, which is the reason for the foundation being started, because he was actually I want to use the right word, affected by a suicide bomber, and he was in the military and came back and had severe PTSD, and so they started the foundation to help support other military veterans. And so he actually received one of the NFTs that Dave brought.
Nice.
And he wants to donate that back to the foundation.
Oh, wow.
And they are going to use that money to start, because I was talking to them about running a node and we're going to set that up as like an endowment. We talked to their finance department, and we're going to set that up as a node to run it as a node. And I've been doing my research and looked into some different nodes and what would be most profitable. I've been talking to Divvy Daddy, and we've been looking at different things and different projects, and it'll be up to the foundation what decision they make, because it's their money and their decision. So we're just presenting different ideas, different projects, and then we will help walk them through their decision. But it'll be like a whole adoption process, because we're going to help educate them, but they're doing the work. We're not doing it for them. We're not financial advisors. We're not, we're just like sharing the education. So I'm super excited about it. And I don't know, it's really cool watching this whole process and growth happen. And so he's going to be donating that to get the foundation started with crypto for them.
Pretty awesome.
Pretty exciting.
Pretty awesome. That is exciting. I mean, that's just it, and until you get out there and do stuff, you get out there all the time. That's all you've done your whole life. You just do it. A lot of us sit around and think about it. You get in front of your computer screens and you type things, and until you get out there, and Ben always says that, until you get out there in the world, that's how you really affect change and do things and bring people together and just create magic, because that's really what that is. Out of nothing, you make something, and it changes the world and impacts people beyond farther than just by doing that. And look what you raised. 888.90.
You guys helped me do that. I didn't do that though. That's what the community raised.
It did.
Because that was not me.
Spearheaded that and brought us together.
That was not me. That was the community, and that was inspired by my dad and Mia, and that was what the community did together as a whole. No, I couldn't have done that. I didn't do that.
Nope.
That's what we did together, and that's what I'm saying is that none of us can do this alone. We're doing this together, and look what great things we can do together. But I love this. I was looking through pictures today. I know I'm being attacked by the swans. Watch out for the black swans.
The black swans are the ones you
white swans. I'm being attacked by white swans, but watch out.
The black swans are the bad ones. You need
to
get one of those now. Have it float by.
I know. Maybe I can find a black one. Yeah. But I don't know. My pool can't handle any more floaty pool toys.
There won't be any room for Charlie in there.
I know. Yeah. But this was one of those memes that I saw, and I was like, I need to tell and I thought about Ben's words, I need to be able to tell my children and my grandchildren that I did not remain silent. Like, we are living in these historical times of our country and the world right now. And I thought, I'm going to be able to tell them about my magical internet friends and what we did together, how we got together, and like we supported veterans and we did this stuff together. And I don't know, I'm just so inspired by it. I'm inspired by our community, and it just means the world to me. I love you guys so much, and I'm so excited for the next time we can all be together. I'm terrified by what's going on in the world, but I'm excited at the same time too. Did you watch Bix's video today?
I caught maybe half of it in and out.
Oh my gosh.
At my desk, I couldn't.
So he's like, he gives me a hard time about being a conspiracy theorist, but then he's saying the same things that I say. So he's listing dates.
It's just a different delivery method, same vein, just delivers it a little bit different.
So one of my friends from homeschool, her father was I think her father, and I think also her grandfather, but I know her father was a Jewish rabbi.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to try to get me connected with her local rabbi here in town to do an interview, because Bix was mentioning some of the Jewish upcoming holidays, religious holidays, the Rosh Hashanah, and how that's preparing for the coming of Christ. And or maybe I'm not saying that right, but she's the one who was telling me about how the Euphrates is drying up, and that's where the make sure I'm saying this right, where the Nephilim, where God put the Nephilim, and she's
buried them under the river, locked up in, some kind of vault. And
and she's like, I don't want to be here when that happens. And I was like,
all right.
What? And I was like, but what about the Elohim and the and she's like, no, God is Elohim. And I was like, oh, okay. And the Anunnaki, and she's like, yeah, the Anunnaki are good. And so like I'm having this conversation where I'm like, okay, I don't get to talk to people. Like I was like, you are my people. She's really cool. She's super smart.
No, that is really awesome that you can have that conversation.
Yes.
20 years ago, it was difficult, very difficult, but
Yeah.
it's gotten easier because more people are awakening to the fact that things are happening, things are different, and getting affected spiritually
and it's interesting to me to watch the
process.
crossover in communities because like she was raised Jewish, she is homeschooling her children, but she's very like mainstream, she's like normal girl, like we go have wine and a salad. And
At 11 o'clock in the morning.
well,
it's all right, it's good for you, it's healthy.
I mean, she's
drink
just
the wine.
Yeah, a really intelligent lady. Her boys play football, and but there's all this crossover in community, and so we're having talks about Nephilim and angels and demons, and but there's also the crossover of she's like talking about the Euphrates drying up, and I was like, oh well, my Q-tard friends talk about watch the water, and she's like, oh well,
a lot of water shifting around lately or leaving or falling in places where it normally doesn't, right?
The Hoover Dam, and 5 bodies have been found.
Imagine that.
I mean, is that watch the water?
I don't know. It's hard to say.
I don't know.
There are things happening.
Very interesting. And then there's also like there's very conflicting things where it's like, well, is the 3-letter agency bad or is it good? Because one minute they're like, oh, they have guns and they're coming for us. And then the next minute I'm watching.
Giving refunds.
They're giving refunds.
It's magically appearing. 1.6 million people are getting magical money. Magical refunds.
Nasera.
They don't know why.
Internet money. Yeah, hold on. Wait,
where's that? I want that. I don't even care if that money shows up in my account, to be honest with you. I'm kind of disconnecting from it.
It's just so bizarre, and I don't know if it's
probably laced with cocaine or some kind of drug.
But is it to wake up whoever's listening? Is it like
be?
Well, whose attention do we have to get? Who's listening to this story? Who's listening to that story?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's a wake up call. Maybe get some thinking. What the heck is that? What? I don't know. It's a.
Polly, I love
Either
you.
It's mass inefficiency, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say. Hard to say. Checking out the chat.
Polly, I sent you a DM about your because Polly had the winning bid for some layers in Den. And right now I'm holding them because they tipped them to me, and so we can tip them to you. But I just need some time to spend with you. So make sure set up a account or a profile. It's not an account. It's a profile like Facebook or whatever on Den, and then message me and let's spend some time together this weekend. And then I can tip them to you. I just need to know your account or your profile on Den. And that way we can do it without any fees. And I sent you a message on Twitter of how we can do that. And
he's probably driving.
Well, when he's not driving.
Right. When you're pulled over.
Yeah.
Well, it ain't me.
When you're doing that safely. There was the coolest commercial for, remember Mike Rowe, Dirty Jobs?
Yeah. Yep.
Great guy.
Like so crawling in sewers and garbage trucks and nasty.
He had these, but he really supported and promoted like trade skills. Not college jobs.
Right.
Which seems to be a hot topic right now. And he did this really great commercial, and he was meeting with a girl in Oklahoma and discussing some things. And then right after that, it followed up with this, and I shared it on my Patreon, this keynote speech that he did for Skills USA, which was like a trade school kind of program. And he went through like hey, I was going to be here this year, but I was doing this job. It was really cool. I shared it on my Patreon, and I thought it really brought home like the fact that there was this marketing where they were trying to put, there was a definite like effort to put America's children in debt,
Oh yeah,
to make them
absolutely.
debt slaves, to put them work harder, no, work smarter, not harder. Go to college and you will be guaranteed a job in the American dream.
Yep.
Just go to college and get your degree. And what happened? A shit ton of them went and got a degree and a bunch of debt and then couldn't get jobs. And now they're saying that they're going to
I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Yeah. The most terrifying words.
Right, Reagan. No, you don't want to hear that.
America.
100% agree with you on that. That's what they did. Remember, they would come out with these studies every year. Oh, these are the most necessary jobs and most openings for jobs. And so if you go to college, you need to go into this field. And then by the time you're out in 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, some people, those jobs are all filled and they don't exist anymore and it's something else. So you wasted, wait a minute, so now I can't get my degree. There's no hirings and this and that. And it's all fake. They're just trying to, like you said, get you into debt slavery, become an indentured servitude scenario, which was basically what slavery was in a lot of ways, indentured servitude. You know, hey, come over here and work for 7 years. We'll give you a free trip to America, but you got to work like a dog for 7 years and you might not make it. Yeah. And that's all they're doing, just a different form.
Like where, okay, so, and with the whole Ethereum thing, I've been learning so much, like studying the merge or whatever, or the
merge.
The merge. I found an incredible video that I posted on my Patreon. These guys talking about how this other guy who's an old, sorry, Polly, I still have your comment up there.
Yeah. That's what he always says, though. It ain't me. Wouldn't me.
Wouldn't me. That can be his shirt.
Yeah, I know. That's what he should make sure it wasn't me.
I finally have, now this channel has been up long enough without being taken down. Woo! We need to have a celebration.
That's the end of the channel. The last video you're ever going to see.
Knock on.
Like Queen Lisa 4 incoming.
Knock on. No. Yeah. But yeah, I can finally have merch. So I thought about doing like t-shirts and have like all of our like favorite people who their things like, we need to have, gosh, hold on. I need to share another page. I need to have a conscious thought first. Okay, let's stay on this. But then we need to celebrate Uncle Cliff, you being quoted by Uncle Cliff. That was pretty epic this week.
Ooh, got quoted by Uncle Cliff.
Okay, so we need to focus on this. So how can they make everyone in debt with money they created from nothing? I think you should give everybody an education about that.
Oh, how could you possibly do something like that? Well, that's pretty easy. I'm just let me look at.
You made a quote or a comment in one of our fam chats about taking 18-year-olds. How irresponsible that is. Wasn't that your comment?
Yeah, I did. What did I even say? I said, you don't take. What a great idea to take. I'd have to look at it. 18-year-old, with no financially illiterate 18-year-olds and give them all the money in the world and attach interest to it. I mean, that's basically what you've done. And you think about it, I don't care how smart you think you are at 18, you think you know it all. You think back to when you were 18. Did you really understand how money worked and how, long-term debt and interest worked? I don't think so.
35, I didn't understand how money worked.
Exactly. A lot of us still don't because we got 30-year mortgages and it's like, well, you're paying double for that house, so if your house doubles in price, you're really just paying the same amount for it because of the interest. But so always get a 15-year loan or pay in cash if you can and save up. But it's the, if you're 18 and they say, oh, absolutely, go to college, the daughter's a senior this year, so we're looking at college, just getting letters all the time. And I look at the price of this, just the regular tuition for these things. I mean, the state school here in Illinois, ISU, Illinois State University, I think is $25,000 a year for a state school. And then you look at the private schools, and they're about, I mean, anywhere between $30,000 to $50,000, and if you go to an Ivy League school, way up. But I mean, $30,000 to $50,000 a year. Okay, now the private school is going to end up being cheaper for her to go to a private school because she can get scholarships than it is to the state school. But it's still, I mean, you look at the cost of that and you think, okay, let's say I'm on the hook for $25,000 times 4 years. If you get out in 4 years, it's $100,000. You realize, and then the interest on that, they don't give you a break on that. I mean, you're probably paying 6% interest on the frickin' loan.
Yeah.
And 14 sometimes. Okay, so I mean, that's just enslavement right there. That's all it is. You never pay it off. And you're at 18 years old and you're thinking, well, shoot, I got my whole life. That ain't nothing. I can make those payments. You don't realize the burden and that monkey that's on your back your whole life until then you get out and you're like, well, wait a minute. I was told I'd be making $100,000 a year. Well, that's not right out of college, and like a teacher, like if I go back into teaching right now, because I've only got 1 year of teaching, I got out of college, taught for a year. So if I go back now and I'm almost 50 years old, all the life experience, all the knowledge I have, but if I go back into teaching, the pay scale, I'm not gonna be making crap. I'll make nothing. And compared to, somebody else that's been teaching their whole life. So, I mean, they don't realize financially how devastating that loan is when they're 18 years old. And they just hand them out and say, here you go, take it. Here you go, take the loan. And you can't file bankruptcy on it. You are enslaved to that loan. I mean, you can't get out of it. Now, if you start a business and take on all kinds of money and then you fail, you can file bankruptcy on the frickin' thing. I mean, there's laws for that. But if you take out a student loan, you can't get out of it. I mean, you are an indentured servant at that point. And it's scary to have that kind of load and the stress that causes. People in debt commit suicide because they got so much debt. I mean, it affects their lives, their whole lives. So think very carefully before you sign that paper. Is it really going to be worth it? I mean, you just really got to think about that thing because it'll affect your whole life.
Yeah.
Anyway,
no, I literally have a family member that I believe that's why they ended their life. So
yeah, I mean, what stresses most people out if you ask them, what's the most stressful thing in your life? Most people are probably going to say, oh, the bills, I got to pay the debt. It's like, am I ever going to get, it's a big overhang for a lot of people. It really is. And it's very devastating to it changes how you live. You don't go out. If you would just go out at 18 and say, you know what, I'm just going to do something I love. I don't care how much money I make. If I can't go to college, I can't go to college. I just want to do something I love and just start doing it. Something, maybe that's something you might want to do.
The decision to stay home and be a homemaker, the Oklahoma Institute of Child Advocacy, which is where
that's the hardest job in the world right there.
Right. We gave OK Foster Wishes when after Mia passed away. That's where we gave the nonprofit that I founded and ran for 13 years. And they, every year for Women's Equality Day, which is today, they do this evaluation of, what it would cost to pay a woman or a person to raise a child. And so the cost for caring for an infant or toddler in Oklahoma amounts to 11.7% of a married family's average income. So of their total income, it's more than 10% of your income it costs to care for the infant or toddler. So that's pretty significant. And
yeah, I mean, you think about what used to happen before we had higher education, and most people didn't go. Go back 100 years. So you would kind of be responsible for, you didn't go to the store necessarily and get all this stuff. A lot of that stuff was made at home, grown at home, canned at home, produced at home. And that was a full-time job because you got to take care of yourself and your family, and I mean, a lot of the work was done there. So, I mean, you look at the big cost of what we do now, a lot of it's food, just going out and the cost of food right now. What if we were producing that at home like we used to? Yeah, it's not easy. But, I mean, if you had done that, just think of how much money you would save by putting that energy toward doing that. And so it kind of goes along with what you're saying. It's like, the energy that you spend in the home and raising children and producing food potentially, I mean, those are priceless things. They really are. And it puts you in a better position, financially, I think, by doing that, because then you're not a slave to somebody else. I mean, you're kind of making the rules the best you can. So I don't know. We've just changed a lot in this country. Kind of become too dependent, allowed centralization to take over, government to take over. And hey, you know what? They're going to take care of us. Everything's fine. We'll get my Social Security, which wasn't ever supposed to be a retirement fund. Still isn't, because they inflated away. But,
Right.
We're dependent upon that stuff now. And it's just not good, because, they can make the rules at that point. Next thing you know, you're in a CBDC and they're controlling everything, and it's just not a good path to go down. And we're kind of watching it unwind. It's unsustainable.
We are definitely watching it unwind. So I'm trying to find, let's see, where was that? Was it on Substack or was it on Telegram that Uncle Cliff said, oh, this was cool too. Okay, so you guys know I love promoted tweets. I think they do a lot of messaging with promoted tweets. Remember the movie They?
Mm-hmm.
This happened.
They Live. It was They Live.
Sorry,
yep.
They Live.
Roddy Piper.
This was today, which I think this means we're going to have more stuff revealed. This came out today, this commercial for these glasses, which are very similar to the glasses in They. And if you watch this commercial, it's like, it says like 180 degrees, and it says
180. Turn it around.
Hold on, it says better to see things clearly. And watch how it shows like where you can see better.
You see the little lizards floating around in the pool, in the water there, when you look at it. Look at the little lizards in there. Might be frogs.
I don't know what they're. Reptilians.
Yeah, exactly. Reptilians. Seriously, go watch They Live. And, just the symbolism of the whole thing kind of sums up what we're going through.
Full 180 degree shape.
Right.
Memory.
It goes backwards. 180. We're going to do a 180 on all this and expose
to shape the memory.
Mm-hmm.
And then.
Interesting. Nice.
There's
Carlos. Yes.
There's Carlos
is getting his money in cryptocurrency.
Through
He's getting paid. GetHedge.io.
GetHedge.io, which I have a link in the description if you're interested in getting paid a portion or all of your paycheck in cryptocurrency. You can use my link and connect your.
And it's about the cheapest way to buy crypto, because I think it's 1.5%. Now you go to an ATM, you go to Coinbase, you go to anywhere else, they don't have the percentage like that, and there's not a spread either, because a lot of times what they'll say is you'll go, it's like to an ATM, for instance, Bitcoin will be $20,000, and then the price will be like $30,000. Not at CoinFlip, but a lot of other ones, to where they build it into the spread, and they'll say, oh, our fees are really low though. Yeah, but you're like charging me a lot more money for it. And then that's just not right. But GetHedge doesn't do that. He's like operating David Schwartz. Operating like bottom line, just trying to get crypto into the hands of people, made it really easy. It's a direct deposit. Your employer doesn't even know. They just send it to a different routing number. You can take a percentage. Doesn't have to be 100%. You take it in custody. It's not like they hold it. You can put it right in your private wallet. So, it's a really good way to, get cryptocurrency in your possession.
I thought this was awesome too. This week, there has been a lot of things where individual states are taking back their sovereignty.
Which they should.
Florida specifically, but also Arizona. Arizona did something, I'll find the article, but DeSantis, he's like an animal. We love him.
He is crazy.
He suspended school board members for incompetence, neglect of duty over the Parkland shooting today. He also came out with a new Don't Tread on Me license plate. I think this is very interesting. There's a bunch of good stuff in this one. I shared this with my Patreon too. This has got tons of good information. Amazon's to shut down their telehealth unit. California checkbooks are finally made public. A decade from a watchdog group shows what the state is spending taxpayer money on. I think that's going to be very telling.
Look at their pension system. They lost money last year. They're pension CalPERS, biggest pension system in the United States, maybe the world. To where
And they have a fiduciary responsibility to look out for the people.
Yeah, look at
and
the
so
money
that is going to
they have.
And look at this damn handsome man.
Look at this guy. Look at him drinking and
So
tequila and sitting by the pool. Look at him.
So cute. Anyway, and then Blazard, if you hold one of his NFTs, he will apparently occasionally airdrop something into your wallet. I love the Blaz. He made a couple NFT or gifts of me early on back in the day, and I just think he's like a guy of and for the community. And so anytime he does something, I try
Very
to
active in the community. Absolutely.
what he's doing. And so please go retweet anything and buy Blazord's NFTs. I love and support what he's doing. I thought this was a really cool article about adoption and open adoption when it's safe and healthy and when you can. I think that's always the best option for children. We have a Cannon's tummy mommy. We have a somewhat connection with her in as much of a safe way that we can. We have communication with her so she can watch him grow up.
That's good.
We're hoping
that can happen.
Yeah, that as she kind of grows and that one day we can.
And I mean, correct me if I'm. Well, no, this is. I'm thinking of Mia, but correct me if I'm wrong on that. That she kind of knew, Mia's mom, that she really couldn't handle raising a child at that point. And
yeah, Mia's mom for sure. And
and so it's good that, if that is able to be sustained and, going forward, that's healthy. I mean, because there are other options which aren't as good, obviously, and there are people out there that want to love children and take care of children. And I mean, it's good to explore those options and, just get through. Life isn't always easy, and you got to make tough decisions, but you can still maintain relationships. That's key. Yeah,
when you can, and what's best. When thinking about what's best for the child, that's the most loving thing to do, and those are some of the hardest choices. This was incredible. I'm not going to play it, but
all that's coming out now.
Yeah,
after the fact.
On
course.
Dog Day.
See, that's okay. I'm going to rant just for a little bit. I'm not going to get.
Speaking of dog coms.
Oh, we got another dog com.
Well, I'm sure Jill's sick again.
Oh, geez, yeah, again. Oh, it was another breakthrough case. I mean, give me a break.
I thought this was weird, very weird comment. Like, so it's Women's Equality Day. I really doubt that Iranian women are that excited to attend football.
Isn't Women's Equality Day every day? Shouldn't it be every day? I mean, why is it just
yes, it should be.
Okay.
I think, and it should be Men's Equality Day. Like,
absolutely.
Let's see.
Hey, I love women, and I would be happy to have a woman come drink a beer with me any day of the week.
Well, and let's celebrate that we're not equal.
Yeah, because we're different. I mean,
let's be totally honest.
I know, we're different.
I cannot pick up heavy things like my husband, but he cannot birth a baby.
Well, I don't know. I've seen, some things, and I think if you put your mind to it, that can really happen. I mean, I think that could really happen, Lisa.
No, there is shit.
I've seen people say that it can.
No,
I don't see animals doing it. I mean, look at the animal world. It gives you a good indicator of see how things work naturally.
More DeSantis, really cool. Oh, and here's the Remember Everyone Deployed read on Friday. I'm gonna find this. Okay, hold on. Oh yeah, this was the one that I was like, the mint stuff was. I mean, Vix is just going nuts over this.
It's a scam. The whole thing's a scam.
Complete scam.
It is, and I mean, it's like he said today. He said that remember when oil went to negative $40 a barrel? It was like 2.5 years ago, something like that. Negative $40 a barrel.
That's where we're going to get our silver from Mexico.
How does that happen? How does that happen? It doesn't. It happens on paper because you can pay me $40 for every barrel that you want to deliver here. I will absolutely take every one of them. But we know that's not real. It's bogus. It's BS. And it's the same with the silver price. They can say whatever they want. It doesn't make it real because there's a cost to bring it out of the ground. It's just the way it is. There's work involved in it. And at some point they can manipulate, but it hits a wall and then that's it. And they'll hit the wall and there will be none available.
But that's going to be part of that USMCA.
Right. Like you said, Mexico's got all this silver.
Yes. And Trump said, like, don't worry, Mexico will pay us back later in another way.
Right. And then you think, what is the resource that they have there? They got a lot of silver. I think the biggest silver producer in the world, actually.
So don't worry about it. It's all going to be, and I think that's going to be part of that USMCA. And I think make America great again.
America's like the whole continent.
The continent.
Right.
And I think we will be nation states.
Make America
continent
great again. Sorry.
Like not just the USA.
Right.
Oh, did I share that?
The Monroe Doctrine. In North America. We're going to defend it.
That was another thing I saw. Another thing. I hope I took a picture of that.
The quote, I found the quote. Let me read it real quick. I said, because I say this stuff and then I don't remember it, like comes from somewhere else. Giving a financially illiterate 18-year-old unlimited loans with interest is never a good idea. That was the quote. Yeah. I should just tweet it out. I put it in the chat because I'm just like, I mean, you think about it. 18 years old. I mean, you don't even, not even old enough to drink beer. And you're going to sign on for hundreds of $1,000s of debt for something that you don't even know if you'll ever be able to pay it back.
Well, the SEC and the
that's
is trying to say that that's not, that you can't let them, they're not accredited investors, because they want to protect them. Yeah. Well, why would they let them take out loans then?
Well, it's because the federal government's the one that backstops it, and that's, I think, the biggest asset in their books, I believe. Student loans. Interesting. Okay. And what happens, because you've been talking about this a lot, and fill me in a little bit. I mean, what happens if all the loans are forgiven? What happens to the dollar? What happens to the government's books at that point? I mean, is that the implosion event, the pin that gets pulled, if they just
if the loans are forgiven? It's my understanding when Uncle Cliff, and I've got this video on my channel that Johnny and I were doing a video with Uncle Cliff, and Johnny and I were talking about the death of the dollar, and Uncle, when you think you're right and you're talking with Uncle Cliff and you're like,
and then you're like,
please validate me, Big Daddy. And then he's like,
before you get lifted up.
No. And then he's like, what's going to kill the dollar is when they forgive the student loan debt. And we were like, and now they're doing it. And they're not just doing it with just Biden. There's other programs that are also reporting student loan debt forgiveness that people are not even seeing or hearing about, that I'm tweeting about it, but like, we're not even seeing or hearing all of it. And so it's like, it's going to happen so fast. And what Uncle Cliff said is it will happen within days, because what happens is the student loan debt backs the treasury bonds.
Mm-hmm.
And those bonds, no one's even buying them right now.
The Fed, maybe.
The Fed is buying their own.
Monetizing the money.
Right, monetizing the money. But outside dollars, other nations, are not buying them anymore. And so all of those are flooding back into the U.S. So it's like we're playing with our own monopoly money.
That's kind of where you're at. It is. It's a banana republic. It's a Ponzi scheme. It's like, and that's why you got to have another $700 billion, increase Inflation Act, whatever they call it.
Well, and the Fed
got to keep injecting money.
And warned everybody it's going to get real painful. Well, we can fix this, but it's going to get real painful, because the people are the ones that keep suffering for the spending of the government.
I'm strong till the finish because I eats me spinach. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. Beep, beep. I was just looking at the chat and I couldn't help but throw that in there.
What did I just do? I just went on the wrong page. Sorry. Here he goes. The Fed chair, Jerome Powell, said the economy should, quote, brace for some pain.
Oh yeah, be prepared to take on the full onslaught of all the crap that we've unleashed. You know, we've got this mountain of crap that we're just going to let flow downhill, and you're going to eat it all. I mean, we've created it, but be prepared because we're about to unleash it on you. You know, it's like Back to the Future when the manure gets dumped in Biff's convertible. That's what's coming.
To commit interstate transportation of stolen
This
property.
is the other ridiculous.
That has to be the least used federal statute on the books. But the diary was never stolen. Ashley Biden abandoned it. She left it under a mattress in a Florida halfway house where she was recovering from her sex and drug addiction. I have a legitimate question. Why don't the Biden kids ever clean up after themselves? Did they grow up with maids?
Very sloppy.
Hunter's leaving his laptop at repair shops and his crack pipes and rental cars. Ashley's just ditching her diary around a bunch of drug addicts. This is the sloppiest family I've ever seen. It's almost like they want to get caught. Talk about daddy issues. We don't have time for that tonight, though. But the DOJ doesn't care. They're making it seem like these two people broke into the Biden family beach house and stole it out of the big guy's safe.
Those are some of the new
accused
airplanes
Harrison
that are
Kurlander
coming out.
of crossing state lines with stolen property and using an encrypted messaging app to communicate with journalists. Oh, so like WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger? Billions of people use that across the world. These people aren't Russian hackers. But that's what Merrick Garland wants you to think. And listen, these people aren't totally clean. They're getting high and they find a diary and they try to shop it for money to buy drugs, all before an election. They shopped it to a bunch of outlets. No one wanted it. And eventually ended up at Project Veritas. James O'Keefe wanted it, and he was suspicious, though, and needed confirmation that this was the real deal. So the duo went back down to Florida to find more evidence to corroborate it. O'Keefe paid $40 grand for it, but never even ran the story. Next thing you know, the FBI raids his house. And listen, the diary would have been a big October surprise had anybody run with it. It's full of dirt on the first family. In it, Ashley wrote about being hypersexualized in her youth, saying, quote, "I remember having sex with friends at a young age and showers with my dad. Probably not appropriate," quote unquote. You think Joe wants that out in public?
And what? Showers with her dad?
I got news for you. You know, that's not something that's common for a father and a daughter to have a shower. I've never had showers with my daughters. Why would Joe Biden be having showers with his daughter?
It's kind of sick.
Doesn't seem like something that is normal behavior to me. But see, yeah, and you ask yourself, the question he's asking is, why would they be so... Tilly, wait, sit down.
You know, that's my granddog's name, too.
I know, Tilly.
Not
So,
funny.
so you've got a situation where loud, that's the husky in her, just loud, bark, vocal. So you've got a situation where you think about, what do serial killers do? I mean, they commit all these crimes, but eventually they want to get caught. I mean, it's just that mentality that, you know, look what I've gotten away with. I'm untouchable. I'm accountable. And they're just arrogant, just completely arrogant. And so that's what you're dealing with in this, you know, untouchable crime family. They think that they can do whatever they want. Hey, I'm going to go to Ukraine. I'm going to tell them to fire this guy, you know, and get it done. You know, watch the video, Joe Biden back, you know. Yeah. I mean, they think they can just do whatever they want. They're so used to being untouchable that they don't think anything's going to happen to them. But they're sick. They're psychopaths. They're sociopaths. That's what they are. And so they don't care. They'll just leave it wherever. It's like, it's not going to happen to me. Whatever.
What are your thoughts on this whole Coinbase launching a voter registration tool for crypto discussions?
I haven't seen it. What is it? Give me the details and I'll kind of give you an opinion on it.
So it says that Coinbase on the 25th of August.
Okay, that's yesterday.
Launched a voter registration tool to allow the participation in American crypto policy discussions.
What? What does that mean? A voter registration tool? Like the DMV? See, in Illinois, they have automatic registration at the DMV because they want as many voters registered as possible that aren't educated.
The purpose of the initiative is to give the crypto community tools to participate in the critical policy discussions happening across the United States. We've heard loud and clear. from our customers that they want to get involved in these debates, and they're looking for trusted resources and tools. The platform also touches on how the crypto Web3 industries are growing, hence receiving regulations from the U.S. government. With 2022 midterm elections approaching, why are they talking about midterms though? Coinbase looks to help its users become more aware of these policies and conversations.
You know what this sounds like? Remember MTV back in the Clinton era? Get out the vote. You know, and they're trying to like skew people. They bring Bill Clinton on and say, well, what do you wear, boxers or briefs? Trying to appeal to the, the newbies, the younger people, and being cool. It's almost like, it's kind of like that kind of thing to me. I don't know. I could be wrong, but it's just, I don't know. Something stinks. That's just my gut feeling.
Something stinks.
That's my gut feeling.
Education tool. Yeah.
Education tool. Okay, so who's controlling the narrative? Just like Zuckerberg on Rogan. See, this is what always happens. You know, that when it's happening, when the event's happening, you're like, oh no, we're fair and we're not biased or anything like that. Yeah, absolutely. You know, we're stopping fake news. We're stopping Russian propaganda. And then it comes out, well, the FBI did tip off, Twitter, or I'm sorry, Facebook, and Zuckerberg acts like, oh, even though I was the CEO, I really wasn't involved in it. And yeah, that probably isn't we didn't do anything wrong, but, whatever group, and I don't know who it was within Facebook was handling it. And yeah, we did kind of not censor, but make it not show up as much, even though the laptop was pretty damaging, even though they talked about it in the debates. We're not going to talk about it because the FBI told us not to. Well, who in the FBI? I'm not saying all the FBI is bad, but what bad elements in the FBI, said, hey, you don't want to cover this, because that's how it went. And they just went ahead and didn't cover it. And now it all comes out after the fact, just like the prick in the arm. Oh, everything's fine, and now all the bad studies come out. 44% of pregnant women in the test study aborted, miscarried. Yeah. I mean, and it's just like, that's not a normal number. So why didn't we hear about that, when they were telling us, oh, you should protect, if you're pregnant, you need to get the prick, because we're going to take, save your babies. And it's just, and then Fauci retires and everybody, it's just.
Yeah, he's retiring in December.
Unaccountable. Yeah, he's going to be the new chairman for the Gates Foundation, or the spokesman for the Gates Foundation, right? So they can walk around Africa and, mutilate people.
What date was Saturday?
I'm just saying that. I don't think it's true, but I'm just being sarcastic.
20th.
But it's just that they're vampires, and I keep saying that. That's all they are, and it's proven, and after the fact. And so, why do you believe them at any point in the game? Just don't. Whatever they say, do a 180. Put the glasses on and realize they're lying to you. They're freaking vampires. Vampire glasses. Need my vampire glasses on. I already got them on. They're like ingrained at implants, when I was born. Everybody else needs to get their vampire glasses on so you can see all the garbage. You can see them coming at you. Because that's all they're doing is trying to steal your energy. All right, continue. Sorry.
For sure. I'm trying to find a man's got to know his limitations.
A man's got to know his limitations. What Magnum Force? That was the movie that it was in with Clint Eastwood, not Westwood.
Did Clint Eastwood say that originally?
Yeah, he said that Magnum Force at the end. The cop was driving. Yeah, he's driving away and car blows up. Yes, the man's got his limitations.
This is so epic. Like, Reggie agreed with me the other day on something, and I was like, and then he retweeted me today, and I was like, I'm putting this on the blockchain. And Uncle Cliff quoted you the other day.
Who did?
Uncle Cliff. We sent it to you.
What did he say?
And I sent it to you.
I don't even.
A man's got to know his limitations. We sent it to you in a text.
Well, Clint Eastwood actually said that, so I didn't originally say that. I just happened to make it popular.
You say it on here, so I think Clint. I think Uncle Cliff.
See, when people who are in crypto, when they go to search, for Clint Eastwood, they accidentally put Clint Westwood in all the time. They just can't help themselves because they just know. It's like.
I hope. I'm going to have to make sure I'm not.
But no, Clint Eastwood actually said that in Magnum Force. I don't even know what year that was made. I'm going to say 73. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
How could I? Can I share this with
MWeb, Mimble Wimble, baby. I've got my node running, so I can take the torch at some point here.
Check that out. Man's got to know his limitations.
True.
And then it says
100%.
Rafi Farber, the Fed's losses are real, and they are spectacular.
And it's going to be spectacular.
Yeah. So That's pretty epic when Uncle Cliff quotes one of your quotes.
Westwood.
Westwood. I can't do it very good. Anyway.
Screenshot that, meme it.
Uh-huh.
Mimble-wimble. Bam. Hey, go to 84million.com. 84million.com is Litecoin shop, and that's where I got this Mimble-wimble hat. Got some cool gear out there. I mean, it's a good dude. Kyle we met him in Texas. He's
you know, I was working on a project with some people that I adore yesterday in a meeting, a 2.5 hour meeting, and we were coming across a problem, and I was like, oh, hey, why don't we just use MWeb? And they were like,
mind blown. It's like a Kramer Cosmo moment. It's like, you know,
like, oh yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, I actually did it today just to test it, so I'm walking proof awesome. That you can send. I sent a transaction, you know, just regular Litecoin transaction from the Litecoin Core wallet to a wallet on my phone, and shows where the address was that it came from, and then I sent it via an MWeb address on the same wallet, and it shows 0. It shows nothing. Sent from shows nothing because there's no information. So you don't know what's coming. I mean, it's built into Litecoin privacy. Just wait until it's on mobile wallets, because that's the next thing to where you can send private transactions mobile wallet to mobile wallet. Right now, it's just a Litecoin Core wallet, but it's already there. It's built in. It's just building out the user interfaces for it. It's a huge thing. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. Litecoin it's a huge development for Litecoin, for crypto. I mean, Bitcoin should implement it. I don't know that they will. They should.
They should.
All crypto should.
Yeah. And okay, there's one more thing that I really want to talk about before my computer dies and we have to go, because I know it's almost 5. There was huge stuff. Well, no, there's 2 more things. This week there was a oversight request investigation launched on the SEC. This is so big.
It's huge.
There is, on my Twitter feed, there is a and I can do here, hold on, I'll share the link for you guys to sign the petition here to join this oversight for the SEC ethics. So there's a conflict of interest by senior staff on Hinman. He received over $15 million while he was at the SEC from his previous, or his law firm, and he was like helping the Ethereum elite, whatever, allegedly.
Just alleged, you know.
Anyway, you can look into it. Here's the
finance at the SEC. He fought to keep getting millions of dollars in payments from his old law firm, Simpson Thacher. But Hinman was warned by the ethics office it would be a crime to do anything that would affect Simpson Thacher.
Allegedly.
No meetings, no phone calls, or he'd be breaking criminal law. But Hinman ignored the legal warnings.
Allegedly.
He met with Simpson Thacher again and again. He met repeatedly with head of its DC office before and after he delivered a market-moving speech declaring the digital assets Bitcoin and Ether as not securities. When Simpson Thacher joined the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, a group with the sole mission to promote Ethereum. Then Hinman connected with Chris Lin, a partner in the Simpson Thacher's China office, who had IPO business before Hinman's division for a Chinese client that makes and sells Bitcoin and Ether mining equipment. Lin asked to meet with Hinman to, quote, report what is going on in China. Hinman said yes. Did Hinman commit a crime? It's time for an investigation. Only Congress has oversight on the SEC. Demand your lawmakers support an investigation. Connect to Congress today.
So it's a big club and you're not in it.
Paul Pelosi. Did you see the Paul Pelosi video?
No.
Where he admitted that, yeah, I was driving drunk. And then he got like 5 days in jail, 4 already served. What a joke. These people. What a chick.
Go watch The Unexplained with William Shatner also this weekend if you need some binging. They're awesome. He looks terrible.
But he's like 90, early 90s, mid 90s.
Okay, I mean, but he's very unhealthy.
Yeah, he is unhealthy. He's kind of bloated and puffy, and
Yeah.
but he's still he's Captain Kirk. He was in the Twilight Zone. You ever see the Twilight Zone? That little episode, they go into the diner, they get the little prediction cards, and they keep coming back. Oh, what do I
did it?
to watch that?
It's terrible.
He was a handsome man back then in the 50s.
Oh, he looks kind of like my biological father, so it creeps me.
Gotcha. Okay, he is a little creepy though.
There's one other thing with Arizona.
Litecoin is sound money for the digital age. You need to check it out. Litecoin, the right thing.
There's something else with Arizona that I'm trying to find, and I don't know why I can't find it on here.
We're on TJ Hooker. Thank you, Daddy-O. Absolutely. I remember that one.
Oh, PayPal also did something. You guys check out Economic Ninja's channel.
Yes.
And
Did you dirty.
Out what that is. Yeah. And then there was
That's why you need to use Litecoin. Get out of these corrupt vampire systems.
EPA is being investigated for Harvard ties. Oh, there's one more thing.
Put your house into an LLC. Go to Wyoming. I looked in Wyoming. That's supposedly the easiest place to get an LLC. They actually have an option for when you're starting a business out there to create a DAO, DAO,
yes,
decentralized autonomous organization.
Yes, I thought about doing our happy hour as a DAO and putting it on Den Social, and then we could all do like.
Where do you want to send Clint and Lisa?
Yeah, I think we could. I think we could do. I think we could have it's like having like a Facebook page, but we can all and then they can vote on what we talk about, and we could go down. Have you ever watched the World Blockchain Roundtable? They could say, "Hey, what are you guys going to talk?" We could say, "What
It's like Ken Bozak used to do. Hey, if somebody sends me so much, I'll do this.
Well, I'm not going to do anything, but you can.
We've got parameters. Pick one of them.
Ken Bozak is not the standard. We love him. We love Kenny Bozak.
Kenny Bozak.
But no. But
whole
we would discuss things. I would love to for people to be able to make a suggestion of asking a question, and we could talk about that.
What do the people want? That's what I'm here for. I'm here for the people. That's all I'm here for. I'm not here for myself.
Yeah. So I think it would be cool to make our show a DAO through Den Social. Anyway, I thought it'd be cool to talk about where is this dang.
You all decide.
This is the other thing we were supposed to talk about. We need to talk about this.
Rise chicken. What?
On Twitter Spaces, you're supposed to help me because I'm supposed to check my wallet. I think they sent this to me in a wallet.
What happened?
This NFT.
Oh.
They're doing this lighthouse thing, and you're supposed
to. Oh, it's on Lightverse.
From Seabass or Moon Chicken.
They might have sent it to you. Well, Lightverse.io is where you can, the NFT market for Litecoin.
I don't know. You're supposed to help me with it.
I just got my freaking node set up today for that. I got a little OmniLight running on one computer. I had to set up a new laptop and put the Litecoin core on it so I can do MWeb. And so, this ain't easy, folks. When it gets easy, Litecoin is not going to be $55. I'm just saying. So,
yeah, that's true.
Just pay attention, everybody. $55. Only enough Litecoin to go around for 0.01 for everybody in the world. 0.01. Buy one Litecoin, you're 100 times ahead. $55. And you can buy it at CoinMe. CoinMe. What is it? It's a Coinstar. 10,000 Coinstars. Now you can buy Litecoin with cash. Coinstar. Go. Boom. Buy it. Go to CoinFlip. Boom. Buy it. Cash in. Dirty fiat in. Sound money for the digital age out. Walk away. Got it. In your possession. Done. Just go do it. Just do it. Just get one for every family member and lock it up. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm telling you about Litecoin. You're upset nobody told you about Bitcoin when it was $50. Nobody told me about Bitcoin. Well, I'm telling you about Litecoin right now at $55. Listen to me now. Hear me now. Believe me later. That's what I'm saying.
Oh gosh, this was so epic.
Guy, that's the reason that college athletes and high school athletes are getting paid today. Mr. Influencer to influencers. Secondly, Jimmy Kimmel, viral this. I fight to eradicate childhood malnutrition from the planet. And until they release the flight logs, you, the mainstream media, Hollywood, are all pedophiles to me. Eat dick.
Drop the mic. You should have grabbed the mic, dropped it, and walked out. That was pretty good, though. I have to admit. But see, that's the thing. People are awakening, and people that used to be scared. Oh, I'm going to lose my retirement. Oh, I'm going to lose my purse for the fight, whatever. You get to a point once you've gone down the rabbit hole and you've seen it, you can't unsee it, and you live your life accordingly. God bless that man, because that's what it's all about. It's about waking people up, because sometimes you got to shock them a little bit, even though that's not shocking because it's real.
Yep. Here it is.
Got to get it out there.
Arizona Supreme Court rules voter referendums can't repeal tax cuts passed by legislature. So, there's things happening all over. More DeSantis taking action makes military.
He's saying stuff about the IRS agents ain't going to be coming into my state.
That's right. And then the Arizona
our state
people are saying nope, no federal taxes in our state. So you're seeing more and more states taking action, being sovereign, and I think you're going to see more and more of that.
Okay, so, going along with that, my youngest daughter, she came home and she had to, I don't know, if you could rule the world, what would you do? That was the question.
Yeah.
And she puts down, we read it, she puts down, it says, if I could rule the world, I would tell everybody no.
No, that's such a, yes.
And then it said homework at the bottom. And I didn't see it because we read it.
Oh,
and it's
you didn't see the homework part?
No, but I love that quote. And it's like, that's me, man. It's like, if I could rule the world, I would tell everybody no.
No.
And that's it. No.
No.
I kind of like the quote. I wrote it down so I can remember it. Yeah.
Okay. I am going to.
I'm going to tweet that out later.
Yeah. I think that's good.
Mm-hmm. No.
I like the quote. And my battery's about to die, so I'm trying to.
Well, gosh darn it. That's what happens when you're out by the pool all day running equipment.
Well,
these batteries, see batteries. Okay. I saw on Twitter, one more thing, a Chevy Volt. Somebody put out the estimate from a dealership to replace the batteries, that make the Volt hybrid car run, to replace the batteries because they went out. 70,000 miles on the car. So when the warranty runs out, this is what happens. $28,000 to replace the batteries in a Volt.
Well, maybe that's why
only $1,200 was labor.
Them all right now. There's the highest rate of car repossession.
Digibug's got 300,000 miles on it. I can work on it myself. I can't replace a $26,000 battery in a hybrid car or an electric car. I mean, this is the kind of the enslavement that they want to push you into.
Yeah,
it is.
No, I get it.
So where you can't fix anything and you're just going to be paralyzed and dependent.
No, I get it for sure. There's the highest rate of car repos right now.
Yeah, because, everybody, I got to need a car. So I'm going to take out, a 7-year loan. And next thing you know, I really can't afford this. And by the time I get to work and pay the gasoline for it, because they've jacked that all up. Electric bills, what's your electric bill? Mine's up like 75%. I mean, and that's across the country.
Yeah, my water and electric was $1,300 last month.
Oh, and you're telling me they're not vampires? That's exactly what they are. They're trying to steal everything you have so that you just submit. Don't submit. Keep fighting, and that's how you beat them. Don't let them win. Don't let them win.
You can turn the air conditioner off.
Get some Litecoin. Get some silver. Store some food. Do what you got to do. Save some seeds. Grow some food. Don't let them win.
Whiskey and beer.
Whiskey, stock the whiskey, valuable commodity. And Litecoin Lisa has checked out. She's left the building. Oh, wait, she's back. All right.
I had to make sure I was covered and turn the air conditioner off.
Turn the air off because it's a little chilly when you get out of the pool and come into the house when that cool air's blowing.
Yeah, but I just wanted to make sure I was covered.
I understand. We got you covered, girl. Yeah. Got you covered.
Yeah. So, thank you guys all for joining me. Love to you all. And it's a no cannon weekend, so
Oh, it's poolside,
We can do
24/7, baby.
Twitter Spaces, the whole bit.
Can do Spaces tonight?
I can. Mhm.
Maybe I'll do a Spaces. It's been a few weeks. I just haven't done it. I'm not consistent. You know, what we're looking at, Bitcoin Ben was, hey! No, I'm surrounded. I don't want to go into that. No, Bitcoin Ben was talking about alpha males earlier today. And he was talking about Charlie. Did you see that? He actually was talking about Charlie. He says, you want a definition of an alpha male? Go look at Litecoin Lisa's husband. That's what he said, you know. And I'm like, I started thinking, I'm like, well, what am I? And, you know, I started doing a little research, and I'm like, I think I fall into the Sigma male category. So you'll have to look that up.
Yeah, you're like an Uncle Cliff.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, I could be an alpha male. Don't really want to be an alpha male, but I mean, don't push me, kind of thing.
Yeah. I think
Anyway,
you're like an Uncle Cliff.
just a little bit heavier.
Then
Sure. Yeah,
Sigma. He's a Sigma. Uncle Cliff is a Sigma.
yeah, it's like I don't need to, you know, but don't tempt me. Don't push
But
me.
you've
Don't-
been the alpha male thing when you were.
Yeah, I know, and I, you know, it's just not me though. You know, I'm kind of, you know, if there's a king, I'll be that number one advisor. You know what I mean? I don't want to be the king. I don't want to have to be the guy out there. I want to be that lion that eats when I want to eat. Just leave me alone. Don't mess with me. But if I have to get up, I'm not going to be happy. You know, that kind of thing.
But Charlie's kind of that way.
Yeah, and he is. I mean, and you look at it, but I don't want to get into alpha, beta,
Yeah.
sigma. And,
Maybe I'm.
you know, when I was in college, I was in the Kappa Kings.
All
That's the fraternity I was in.
Because Charlie doesn't
I
like
wasn't in
to
a
be
fraternity, I was
like he likes to like be over here.
I know.
Don't mess with him, and
Yeah, don't poke the
he's
bear and
very
you'll be
loving.
fine, right?
He protects his family, but he would rather just not be messed with.
And I like that.
And he's really more of a lover than a fighter, to be honest.
That's what I hear.
You know, I mean, he really is not. And actually, like, if we go out, he's really, like, he just goes on protect mode where he really doesn't, like, he has more fun at home where he's in a safe environment and
No,
he can
I get it.
guard
That's
or at your place. Yes.
right. Because it's like I don't have to worry about the
Fun.
drama and the
Yes.
ridiculousness.
Yeah.
And I can be me.
Yeah.
Instead of having to, you know, like watch out for the vampires and all
Yes.
the zombies.
If we go like out in public, he's probably not going to drink because he thinks he has to protect everybody or be
That's
watched.
no fun. You got to be in a safe place, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what I try to create here. So.
I know. I was like, oh, well, we don't have Cannon this weekend. Why don't we invite some friends to go out to dinner or do something fun? And he's like, I don't want to do that. He's like, you got to pay $17 for a drink and the
Right.
dinner's not even that good. I can make a better steak here and we don't have to worry about some jackass acting stupid. And why don't we just invite people over here?
I hear you. I'm with you on that. Trust me. I am completely with you on that.
Yeah.
I
So.
completely with you on that.
It's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, Mitchie. We love you. Good night.
Mitchie's in the front row over here.
But we love him.
There's a little delay, so he heard it. See, he's laughing now. Yes. All right. Love you all for being
All
here
right. Yeah. Love you
every
guys.
week, and trust yourselves. That's really what it comes down to. Don't listen to the idiots. Don't listen to the vampires. They always steer you wrong. It's always proven after the fact. So whenever they tell you to do something, put those glasses on, see what they are, do a 180. Trust yourself. Have a great weekend.
Absolutely. Take care.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and secret proceedings. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed.